Hi everyone, thanks for joining me and welcome to the Asylum Challenge. I will be linking the rules down in the description as always, and I'm just gonna kind of summarize what we're doing here. So for the challenge, we do have to create 8 Sims. I'm doing the Walking Dead inspired characters. I love the show, so I just wanted to incorporate it. So I'm starting off with Rick here. We can only control one of the Sims, so this is the one I'm gonna sort of control. So the way I'm kind of doing it, like the little backstory that I'm adding to it, is just that how in the show Rick wakes up in the hospital and the event of the Walking Dead take place. So in this challenge, he wakes up in the hospital, but instead of being in the Walking Dead world, he's actually in the insane asylum, and everything that goes on in the show is actually just going on in Rick's head. So obviously he needs to complete the challenge in order to be cured and be brought back into reality. So all of the characters that I have here are obviously in the insane asylum with him, and also in his head, the show, I guess. Okay, so I gave him traits that I think are going to be useful to me in completing the challenge. They all have to have the insane trait, so he has that. He has the creative and art lover challenge, traits. So we do have to complete 4 aspirations. I am doing this on hard mode. So I'm starting off with the Master Chef. I'm going to be doing the Master Chef, Painter Extraordinaire. I'm also going to be doing the Friend of the World, and which was my 4th one? I think it was going to be... Oh, the Knowledge, there we go. The Renaissance Sim. Okay, I completely lost track of which 4 I was going to be doing. So I'm going to be doing those 4. I think those traits are going to help me. None of the Sims can be related, so they're not. So let's go into the characters here. I have Maggie here. I gave her the Gloomy and Neat, along with the Insane, which they all have. I just gave them random aspirations. They're not going to be doing them. I'm not going to be controlling them, so I don't really care what I'm doing with that. Glenn here, I gave him the Kleptomaniac and Childish. We have Michonne. I gave her the Loner and Good traits. I have Daryl here, fan favorite, with he loves the outdoors and loner traits. I also added King Ezequiel. I gave him the romantic and good traits. So I couldn't really find any wardrobe that was going to fit him, but I felt like that one was good enough. I also added Negan. So for those of you who don't read the comics or haven't watched the new seasons of The Walking Dead, you probably won't know who this is. If you do, you definitely know who he is. He's definitely not going to be a character you're going to forget. And I gave him the mean and evil traits. So I wanted to add a villain in here as well, just to make things a little interesting. And I added Carol. I gave her the mean trait and the neat trait. So hopefully these traits will make things interesting, but not too difficult for me to complete the challenge. So now that we've met all the Sims, we're going to go ahead and get into the lot that I have for them. So I'm going to go ahead and take you guys to the lot and go over the rules and restrictions that we have for the rest of the gameplay. Alright, so here we are at the lot. I used a Walking Dead prison that I got from the gallery. I didn't necessarily make this myself, but I did modify it heavily just so that I could use it. But I really love the idea of using the prison from The Walking Dead for this challenge, obviously because of the characters. So my bills are gonna be really high because this lot is worth a lot. So I'm not really excited about that, but it just adds a little extra challenge. This building over here I completely emptied out just because I wasn't gonna use it, and I have no use for it. So there's no point in me having extra stuff in there. I did remove all the doors just so that my Sims don't go in there. And I removed all the furniture and everything to reduce my bills as much as possible. This building here, I completely redesigned just because I wanted it to look more like a hospital and not so much like a prison. So I wanted to do kind of a mashup between the two. So I still have that Walking Dead element, but it is still an asylum. So I'll give you guys a quick tour. We have the kitchen here with the lowest appliances, which is what we're supposed to have. I have the little living room here. We can't have a TV and a computer at the same time, so I opted for the TV. So you have it right there. Over here we have the skill room, which I will go over the skill items that I have. And my favorite part is this hallway here that goes into the bedrooms. I feel like this really looks like an asylum. I love these doors. So we have the 4 bedrooms that are identical. We're only allowed 4 beds on hard mode, so that's all I have. We are allowed only 1 sink, 1 toilet, and 1 shower or tub. So I have the toilet here and the shower here. I do have them separate just because I know a lot of people were saying that when they have it together, their Sims tend to die a little easier because of the embarrassed moodlet. I have the sink over here in the kitchen. So again, I didn't want to keep it inside with the toilet because they will go in there to wash dishes and stuff. And if somebody's using the restroom, I just wanted to avoid all of that. So I'm allowed 5 skill building items. So I chose the easel, the woodworking bench. I do have a mirror here, although that doesn't count as a skill building item, so that's kind of nice. I have the chess table, the bar, because I'm going to need that obviously to complete the Master Chef aspiration, and the pool. I did make it a little murky just to kind of go with the scene because it is supposed to be kind of a rundown asylum. So as you can see, the outside looks pretty rundown, pretty neglected. So I thought the pool should reflect that as well. Looks really disgusting. Not the kind of pool I would want to swim in, but that's okay. We do have a garden area here in case we want to go ahead and do that. Oh, I need to close that little gap there, but oh well, that's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to fix it. Okay, so I went ahead and fixed it. So much better now. And I reset their funds to 100. That is all that we're allowed to have right now. Rick is the only one that can have a job. None of the other Sims can, and he's only allowed a job if his aspiration requires it. On the Master Chef, he is required to have a job. I'm not required to have it yet, so I'm not going to get a job right away. I'm going to wait until he really needs it, just because I feel like the job's going to be a little distracting. I don't feel like the money that he's going to get from the job is going to pay off as much as painting will, and the time that it's going to take him. I mean, he's going to be gone for a lot of hours, and I feel like I could get a lot more done with the aspirations in that time. So I'm not going to get until I absolutely need it to complete the challenge. We are going to be able to leave the lot to fish and collect items between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. And that means like we can go around the neighborhood. That doesn't necessarily mean we can travel to other lots. We can only travel to other lots if we're required by the aspiration to do so, and that we can only do between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. And I'm supposed to take all these lovely people here with me. All right, so those are all the rules for the challenge. I hope you guys enjoy this challenge. I'm really looking forward to doing it. I feel like it's going to be really challenging, especially with the added bills that I'm going to have, having this huge building. If you don't want that extra challenge, I don't recommend getting something this big. I would really just be okay with getting this building and the pool. And I think with that, you're pretty much set and your bills are going to be much lower, but I'm not afraid of a challenge, so I welcome it. We'll see how I do. I'm sure I'll regret it later on. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned to watch the next video for the first part of the challenge. Thank you guys for joining me. Bye!